In 1996, a mutated virus erupted worldwide, proving incurable and spreading rapidly. Within a few short years, this virus claimed the lives of 5 billion people globally. Those who survived were forced to abandon the Earth's surface, seeking refuge and survival underground. Once again, the world fell under the rule of animals. Welcome back, Look Recap. Today, I'm going to recap a sci-fi film called 12 Monkeys. The story begins with a man wearing a floral shirt falling to the ground after being shot. A blonde woman rushes to him and holds him, her expression turning very grave. The scene shifts, waking the protagonist Cole up to the sound of a broadcast. He's unsure how many times he's dreamt that same scene. Cole lives in the year 2035, serving a 25-year sentence for violent tendencies and an antisocial personality. In reality, the government doesn't just keep these prisoners, they assign them as volunteers for a task. Despite the name, this volunteer job involves returning to the surface to collect samples. It's highly dangerous, as a breach in their protective suits would bar them from re-entry into the underground city. This time, Cole is among the many volunteers. Fully geared up, he's sent to the surface, tasked with capturing insects used by scientists to study virus properties through the insect samples. Just as Cole finishes the task and prepares to return, he accidentally discovers a newspaper with a monkey symbol that reads, "We've succeeded." Cole's mission goes smoothly. He not only retrieves the samples but also remains uninfected by the virus. Next, the scientists assign him another crucial task. Success could mean humanity's return to the Earth's surface. To undertake this task requires an unwavering will. Others were chosen before, but they all failed. If Cole agrees to go, his superiors will petition for a reduction in his sentence. Knowing the tactics of these authorities, Cole is forced to agree. The scene shifts to the year 1990. Psychologist Catherine receives a call from the police station. They've recently apprehended a madman who has knocked down 5 officers in a row, shouting about some virus incessantly until they sedated him. This madman, according to the police, is Cole. Scientists intended to use a time machine to transport him to 1996 to gather virus-related data, but for some reason, Cole returned to 1990 instead. Time travel exhausts a lot of energy, leaving Cole weakened. Additionally, his incoherent babbling leads Catherine to believe he suffers from a mental illness. That afternoon, Cole is taken to a mental hospital. The administrator assigns him to a patient named Jeffrey, asking him to familiarize Cole with the environment inside. Jeffrey is extremely erratic, disregarding any rules and doing only what he finds amusing. Later that evening, the hospital conducts a psychiatric assessment on Cole to determine the nature of his mental illness. Cole knows that if he continues to appear insane, his plan will fall apart. Therefore, he does his best to explain his purpose, drawing the emblem of the 12 Monkeys army on paper, attributing the world-ending virus to them. However, upon careful thought, Cole realizes it's still 1990, and the 12 Monkeys haven't initiated their actions yet. So, all he can do is forewarn them about what will happen in the future. From 1996 to 1997, the world will see the death of 5 billion people, nearly the sum total of the global population. He's not here to save them but to trace the origin of the virus and enable future humanity to return to the surface. However, the doctors didn't believe his words. They heard such delusional talk every day. Cole wanted to make a call, knowing that future scientists would be monitoring the conversation through a voicemail system, thus confirming his claims. Despite their inability to understand, the doctors agreed to his request. The person who answered the call turned out to be a housewife who had no idea about any scientists. Back in the ward, Jeffrey sensed Cole's distress. If Cole wanted to escape, Jeffrey could help, but he didn't specify how. The next day, Cole saw humans on TV conducting gruesome biological experiments on rabbits and couldn't help but ponder whether eradicating humanity might be the right thing. Jeffrey overheard this comment and rambled, saying that eradicating humanity seemed interesting but needed careful consideration. That afternoon, Jeffrey handed Cole a key that could open the hospital room door. However, Cole had just been sedated and was groggy, barely awake. Jeffrey didn't wait for his reaction. He created a disturbance, attracting all the guards' attention. Taking advantage of the chaos, Cole opened the door and escaped. However, disoriented and unfamiliar with the surroundings, he was quickly apprehended by the guards. To prevent another escape, the hospital confined him to a sealed room. As the doctors discussed how to handle him, the guards suddenly reported Cole missing. They had tied his hands and feet to the bed and administered a significant amount of sedatives in a sealed room. How could he have possibly escaped? The scene shifts to the year 2035, revealing that Cole was actually sent back by the scientists. Suddenly, an old man's voice appears in Cole's mind, asking if he found any information. The answer is, of course, no. In 1990, the 12 monkeys had not yet initiated their actions, and Cole returned with no valuable insights. Subsequently, the scientists interrogate Cole, asking if he made any discoveries. Cole informs them of the actual situation, emphasizing that there can't be any leads in the wrong time period. Next, the scientists show him several photos of the 12 monkeys, and to Cole's surprise, Jeffrey's figure appears in one of the pictures. Seeing Cole's astonished expression, the scientists realize he has encountered this person. Therefore, they decide to send Cole through time once again to gather more information. As the teleportation device activates, Cole is transported to a battlefield, still unsure of the situation when a grenade hits his leg. In the year 1996, Catherine delivered an academic lecture. By now, she had become a highly renowned medical scholar. After work, Catherine prepared to drive home but was abducted as soon as she got into her car by a masked man, who turns out to be Cole. After several attempts, he finally managed to be transported to the correct time period. Cole scoured through all the information in Baltimore but found no trace of the 12 monkeys. He suspected the perpetrator must be hiding in Philadelphia. However, it's over 100 kilometers away, leading him to consider Catherine. On the road, Cole was captivated by the music and the fresh air, things others considered ordinary but he deeply enjoyed. Late at night, they found a motel to rest, where Cole once again dreamt of the blonde woman. This time, he saw her face clearly, and apart from the difference in hair color, she looked exactly like Catherine. Cole had been having this dream for many years, puzzled why Catherine would appear in his dreams. The next day, they continued their journey. After spending a day together, their relationship grew closer. Cole confided in her, explaining that he was searching for the 12 monkeys who possessed the original, pre-mutated virus. If found, scientists would transport it to study the virus's characteristics and then return to the present to develop a cure, enabling future humanity to return to the surface. Soon, they arrived in Philadelphia. As they drove through the streets, Cole suddenly spotted the 12 monkeys emblem on a wall. Excitedly jumping out of the car, it seemed his guess was correct. Throughout the journey, Catherine had been contemplating how to get rid of him. Now, it seemed like an appropriate moment, but she began to hesitate, even starting to believe some of Cole's words. As they searched along the markings, a frail old beggar suddenly appeared on the roadside. Cole found his voice very familiar. They had conversed when he was sent back from 1990. The old man told him that they had implanted a tracker in his teeth. Regardless of what he said or did, or wherever he went, they knew it all. With a toothless grin, the old man hinted that he might have been sent by future scientists too, but he found his own way to evade their tracking. After evading the old man, they entered an abandoned theater, where thugs were brawling. Upon seeing the two, the thugs rushed over, intending to harm Catherine. However, Cole wasn't someone to mess with. Having previously knocked down 5 policemen, these 2 thugs were no match for him. Following this, the 2 wandered aimlessly down the street. Suddenly, Cole noticed a storefront adorned with a pig's head statue, similar to the emblem he'd seen in the scientists' photos. Perhaps this store had some connection to the 12 monkeys. Inside were 3 young individuals. Cole promptly brandished his gun to control them. Under Cole's pressure, the 3 revealed Jeffrey, the same lunatic Cole had encountered in the mental hospital. He was now an antisocial figure leading an underground militia with 11 others, specifically targeting lawyers and bankers on Wall Street. Cole's expression faltered at this revelation. An underground militia of 12, wasn't that the 12 monkeys? It seemed Jeffrey was one of them. Cole extracted Jeffrey's address from the trio and swiftly headed there with Catherine. On the way, Catherine inquired about his leg injury. For most people, decades had passed from the time of the war to now, but for Cole, it was just a fleeting moment. His leg injury still carried shrapnel. Catherine, being a doctor, couldn't let Cole continue like this, so she bought tools from a convenience store to help extract the shrapnel from his leg. Unexpectedly, despite her assistance, Cole not only refrained from thanking her but bound and placed her in the trunk of the car. That night, Cole infiltrated the banquet hosted by Jeffrey's father and found Jeffrey. Cole explained that he only wanted to acquire the virus data and wouldn't obstruct Jeffrey's plans. However, Jeffrey revealed that Cole himself had proposed this plan. During their time in the mental hospital, Cole had expressed a desire for humanity's extinction. Jeffrey's father happened to be a virologist, so Cole must have come to steal virus samples. Enraged, Cole shouted, questioning why the 12 Monkeys militia was formed. Jeffrey explained they were merely a bunch of misfits trying to save the rainforest. He had long separated from them and promptly expelled Cole. Returning to the woods, Cole shared his discoveries with Catherine, realizing that the plan to annihilate humanity might have been his idea. Suddenly, nearby sirens blared. Cole had caused a scene at the banquet, attracting the police. However, he wasn't concerned. He felt content living there, enjoying the fresh air. Why return to save the future world? Before he could finish his thought, Cole was abruptly transported back. The scientists were highly impressed with Cole's performance. He had discovered the familial link between the 12 Monkeys militia and the virologist. They felt the remaining work could be handled by others. To honor his efforts, they granted Cole a pardon, releasing him from prison. However, Cole started laughing hysterically, believing that his life in 1996 was real and that everything in front of him was an illusion. How could time travel possibly exist in the real world? The scientists, thinking he was delusional, administered a sedative. On the other side, Catherine received a call from the police station. Recently, she had handed over the bullet extracted from Cole's leg to the authorities. Upon examination, they discovered that the bullet dated back to before 1920, making it at least 70 years old. On the day Catherine encountered Cole, she had just finished a lecture. During World War I, a French hospital received a peculiar patient who couldn't understand French but spoke fluent English. He claimed to be searching for a virus that would destroy the world in 1996. Catherine rushed to find the records from that day's lecture and discovered Cole sitting beside that peculiar patient. Their acquaintance indicated they both hailed from the future. Now Catherine had no choice but to believe that such absurdities existed in the world. The scene shifts to the future. Cole is deeply enamored with the old world and wishes to stay in that era forever. However, if the scientists were to know about this desire, they wouldn't send him back through time again. So, Cole puts on a great show, claiming he only wants to help humanity regain control of the surface. In terms of attitude and physical condition, Cole is the best candidate. Consequently, the scientists decide to trust him once more. On the other hand, Catherine calls Jeffrey's father. If Jeffrey is the cause of the disaster, he'd likely steal the virus from his father. Catherine warns Jeffrey's father to be wary of his son. This advice displeases the father, but he still instructs his assistant to check the security system. Later, Catherine visits the store with the pig's head, which is Jeffrey's base and could potentially hold clues. Coincidentally, she encounters Cole, who was transported there. To avoid drawing attention, they rent an hourly room at a motel. A man and a woman renting an hourly room caused the owner to mistake Catherine for a new prostitute, prompting the pimp to come and confirm. Catherine asks Cole about the day he vanished in the woods. However, Cole's teeth are tracked, so telling the truth would lead the scientists to transport him back immediately. He pretends to be clueless, claiming he doesn't remember. At that moment, the pimp barges in, claiming the place as his territory and assuming Catherine has cheated on him by doing business behind his back. He assaults her directly. Cole intervenes, dragging the man into the restroom and beating him. Amidst the chaos, he uses pliers to extract his own teeth, preventing the scientists from tracking him and sending him back. To evade police tracking, they change their appearances and take a taxi to the airport. Cole has never seen the ocean, so they plan to head to Florida for a while. During the ride, the driver mentions the 12 Monkeys militia, stating they freed animals from the zoo and locked up scientists in cages as punishment for using animals in experiments. Catherine and Cole burst into laughter, realizing that the 12 Monkeys' success referred to this event. Jeffrey was right, the 12 Monkeys were a group of misfits aiming to save the rainforest. Shortly after, they reach the airport. As they enter, Cole feels a sense of familiarity, remembering this place from his childhood and seeing Catherine. While Catherine is occupied with ticketing, they plan to meet at a newsstand. During her absence, Cole encounters his future friend, Jose. The scientists are aware that Cole removed his teeth. Jose hands Cole a gun, threatening to kill Catherine if he doesn't comply. Cole has no choice but to obey. On the other side, While Catherine is at the ticket counter, she encounters a blonde man. Initially, she doesn't pay much attention, but soon she spots the man in a newspaper as an assistant to a virologist. She rushes to find Cole, informing him that the assistant, being the person with the most exposure to the virus, might actually be the one spreading it. With documents proving his identity, the assistant smoothly passes through security. Cole tries to stop him, pulling out his gun to shoot, but he's too late. The police notice Cole and shoot him dead. A young boy present at the scene witnesses it all. He's the young Cole, the one who frequently dreams about this exact moment. It turns out that the adult Cole dies before his younger self. Catherine breaks down in tears by Cole's side, remembering Cole's words about witnessing this scene when he was a child. This indicates that the young Cole was present at the time. Ultimately, Catherine locks eyes with the young Cole. Many years later, they will meet again at the same place. At the end of the movie, the assistant meets a future scientist on the plane. Though they are strangers, they share a common goal: to eliminate this violent species from the world. And that's where the story ends. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like. It really helps the channel. Thank you for watching.